Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Leaf Classes. I am Anjali. Children, as per the board information, we have first semester MCQ based and that will be online. And for your information, the syllabus for semester 1 and semester 2 will be strictly based on the reduced syllabus provided by the council. So children, we have started our MCQ series and I know most of you were waiting. Yes, children, we have little delay in this. We have started this little late, but no problem. We will be completing the entire syllabus in our series. And since this series contains 10 questions in each video, so we have named this series as 10 on 10 series. Right, children? So I wish you all the best and let us start. But before we start, I would like to tell you one thing that although the exams will be MCQ based, but you are supposed to prepare the entire topics properly. So if everything is prepared properly, no matter which question comes, and definitely you are going to score very well in the exams. So let us start with our MCQ series, that is 10 on 10. So children, first topic of our 10 on 10 series is user defined functions. Children, before doing class as the basis of all computation, I want to deal with this topic because when we do class as the basis of all computation, many functions are there. So I will advise you also to prepare this topic properly. Children, although we are doing MCQ questions here and I'll be discussing the solution as well, but I want you to prepare the topic. The videos are there and already the playlist is there with the name semester 1, November 21. So you can just check the videos present on this topic, that is user defined functions, right? Children, user defined functions or methods. All of you should be knowing that the method is the other name of functions in Java. So we start with our first question and I hope these 10 questions in the first video will be very easy and all of you will be able to do that, and in case you have any problem I am explaining that. So you can just check your answers. The questions are displayed on the screen. Please check, please verify your answers with mine. Okay. So the first question is, how many values a method can return to its caller module? Children, when we write the program, there are two functions. One is the caller function and the another is the called method or function. So how many values a method can return to its caller module? That means which function has called it, how many values it can send back to that module. The answer is only one. Children, that is given using the return statement. Please check the properties of return statement in the video. In first video of user defined function only it is mentioned. So even if we give more than one return statement, only one will be executed, right? So the statement for return is return, and you write the variable name like this within the bracket, or you can simply write return and the variable name. Both are perfectly correct. You give the brackets or you don't give the brackets, both are perfectly correct. So there is no mistake. You may get the question which of the following is correct. So both of these are absolutely correct, right children? Now we move on to the second question. What should be the return value of a function? Return type of a function if it does not return any value. Children, even if you are not familiar with user defined function, if you remember, you have done so many programs in which you have written main function. So what you write, public static void main. Before the function name, you are using the word void. And in main function, you are not using any return statement. So if the function does not return any value, then your return type has to be void. Void before the function name indicates that the function will not return any value. The question can be asked like this: what should be the return type for non-returnable value functions? So answer will be void. So correct option is C over here, right children? Now question number 3. Children, I want all of you to solve before I tell you the correct answer. So that like this you will be checking your knowledge also, right? What will be the value of A and B after the following function is executed? If the value passed are 10 and 30, 10 and 30, that means the value of A is 10 and the value of B is taken as 30. Now A equals to A plus B, that means A equals to 10 plus 30, this will be 40. The next statement says B equals to A minus B. Now the present value of A is 40. So 40 minus 30. The value of B is still 30. So this will be 10. And then we have we have A equals to A minus B. Now what is the current value of A? That is 40 and B is 10. So this is equals to 30. So the value of A is 30 and the value of is 10. So option C is the correct answer. Children, here I want to tell you one more thing, that these statements, these are written for swapping of the values also, right? So if you have to swap two numbers, these three statements are used for swapping of two integer values, right children? So I hope it is clear, and this video using this MCQ series is also my first attempt. So I suppose you are liking this, and just comment in the comment section whether you want more videos on MCQ series or not, okay? So the fourth question, we come to the fourth question, the prototype of a function named leaf, right? Children, when we write the function definition, the first line is the function header or function prototype, right? So here you have to write the function prototype of a function named leaf. So the function name is leaf, which receives a sentence tree. Children, a sentence will be always in string type. So the variable name is tree and return and an integer value num. It is taking one more integer value, that is num, and return a value that is true or false. So here true or false is boolean type. So boolean leave in bracket string tree comma int num. Yes children, this is the prototype. Here you write public or you don't write public if the access specifier is not given. Public is the default access specifier. So boolean leave, the return value is true or false. For that the type is boolean, and it is taking two parameters. One is string type and one is int. Children, always remember there will be no semicolon in the function header. So your option B is the correct answer, right? I hope all of you have also marked it correctly. The next question, a function with many definitions is called. Yes, my dear children, even if you don't know how this is implemented, but in class 9th, you have just learned the definitions of all the object-oriented principles, and you have done that also, that which object-oriented principle gives you function overloading. And in the definition of polymorphism, we know that a function with different purposes, for many purposes, if the same function name is used, then it is known as function overloading. And this concept of object-oriented programming is known as polymorphism, right? So the correct answer is option B. Same what I explained to you. Which object-oriented principle implements function overloading? So the correct answer is polymorphism. Option C is the correct answer. Right, children? So this is very easy question. A function body is enclosed within a pair of. You write main function. After writing main function, public static void main, and small brackets you put, those small brackets indicate that it is the function. but the body of the function is always written within the pair of curly braces. So option C is the correct answer. So when you do user defined function also, the definitions of all the functions are written within the pair of curly braces. Next question is, what will be the output of the following function? Children, if you see here, void is written, that means this function will not return any value. Calc is the function name and it is taking one argument as integer type. Now here, if 5 is passed to the function, that means the value of a is taken as 5. X equals to 2 is given. A equals to plus A. Plus is pre-increment operator. So the value of A will be incremented to 6. It was 5 plus 1. It will become 6 divided by 2. The value of X is 2 plus. Now after it has become 6, it will be given as 6 to the next value. And here we have A plus plus. That means the value which it is receiving, it will be using that value, and after using that, it will be changed to next incremented value, but here it will be using 6 only, and plus X. Now here it is pre-increment. Pre-increment means first it will change the value. It will become 3 and now we have to solve it. 6 by 2 is 3 plus 6 by 3 is 2 and the answer comes 5. So option B is the correct answer. I hope children you are understanding and liking these type of questions. Parameters used in the function definition. Yes, children, we have two types of parameters. The parameters which we use in calling the function and the parameters which we use in the function definition. And here the question is there, the parameters which you use in function definition. These are known as formal parameters. So the correct answer is option D. Actual parameters are the parameters which you give in function calling, right children? So today we have done these 10 questions. I'll be back on the same topic with next 10 questions in the next video. I hope you have enjoyed this MCQ series, and those who haven't subscribed the channel till now, please do subscribe and press the bell icon. And you can join our Telegram channel also. The link is there in the description box. Children, one thing more, the link of semester 1 syllabus playlist is also there in the description box. You may refer to that. All the best and God bless you children.